Koster, and in this video I'm going to show you the circular value calculator about building flexibility. And in this calculator, building initiators will be able to calculate the value of flexibility of a building that remountability is leading towards. And I'm going to show you first of all the parts of this calculator, and then I'm going to take you through and make a calculation so that you know how to use it. So this calculator consists of several blocks. So we have a general block where you fill in the number of square meters, how long you will own the building, what the interest rates are, like general information. Then we'll here estimate the investment to be made to make a building remountable and circular. Then the value this remountability is providing, and then the costs associated with this value over time. And these will result in a circular value, so the total value, which is negative investment minus the costs plus the value. And we'll have different metrics regarding this information. I'll show you later. And then we calculate the net present value based on the different interest rates and the moment it will occur in time. And that's the net present value. And here we also have several metrics. Then we give you the possibility to create an optimistic and pessimistic scenario based on the different values that you entered here. And the estimate will be about 30% plus and minus, so negative and optimistic. What we're going to try to do is fill in the values for a house. So a house is 120 square meters, right about. And there's a lot of benchmarks in here that we have created by doing research together with initiators in the building industry that we made this calculator with. And these benchmarks help you to more quickly fill in the calculator. But we give you the flexibility to basically fill in whatever you like. And this will be the construct to get towards the value. So the average ownership of a building, and that's an office building, is 25 years. So we expect a flexibility event, so a change event that can be either changing location, changing function, or changing location and function. These can be the change events, and it will be occurring around halfway. That's what we expect. You can change it if you already know this flexibility event or you know the end of the ownership. Then we have a building inflation cost, inflation of building costs, which is 2.5% according to CBS. Over the last years, it has been higher. You can change it if you like. And an interest rate for financing the building of 1.1%. Of course, this can also be adjusted if you, for example, don't use a mortgage, but you use your own money, then you might use another rate here. So pick what you like. Then we estimate the investment. And I expect this to be around 3,000 euros per square meter for the building, this house. And then the remountability of this total investment, we expect to be 10%. This is something we have seen throughout the living labs. Here you can select other percentages. And in the Excel version of this calculator, you can also find out what sort of building type the percentages relate to. So for example, 10% is usually a wooden building, but we also have a percentage for brick and also for steel. And these help you to get a feel for what sort of investment percentage to expect there. Yes, if you also use the other calculator and you see a value of remountability also at the end of life of the building, so that's by getting a building apart and getting these materials divided, you can get more value out of them. Then you might want to divide this percentage by 2, since you do the same investment for 2 benefits. But that's up to you, just whatever you see applies in your situation. So this results in an investment of 36,000 euros in the fact that you make this building remountable. Then we expect the relative replacement investment or relative sales value to be 100%, meaning that we expect us to be able to use this building in 12.5 years' time to avoid another investment in the same building. Or avoid this investment. So that's 100%. In this case, we expect one flexibility event to happen. So we move it only once over the course of our ownership, which is expected to be 25 years. You can adjust it if you like. And we estimate chances here. So there's a chance that we relocate it and we change function. We expect this to be 15%. That we change location only 80% and function 50%. And during these workshops, these estimates were made, change them accordingly, but these are benchmarks related to that. Then here you can also fill in an avoided loss of income. So an example here would be, since it's easier to move the building to another place than building something new, you will lose less time in rent. So here you can add in costs that you would usually have by doing it another way, that are avoided by making a building remountable, because that will add to the value. So in this case, the value will be 174,000 euros. Then we look at the costs. So we have costs per square meter for changing location, which is expected to be 100 euros. Cost for conversion to a new function. So that could be, for example, from an office to an apartment, or from a public function to a office building. So changing it from one to another. So these costs can vary quite widely because it really depends on what sort of different scenarios you're foreseeing. So this is something to be more intensively researched. And then we have potentially storage costs. So if on site you don't have a location to store your materials and you need extra transport, we expect 17 euros to be enough to do the storage and transport for half a year. Then we have total costs for the change of location, resulting in 12,000 euros, new function 39,000 euros, and transport 2,040 euros. And to make these estimates, we're using the percentages of it occurring. That's also what we're doing for the value. So here the value is based on the average of things occurring, and here the costs are based on the chances that these occur. So in this case, the expected costs are about 40,000 euros. If we look at the made investment and the total costs related to its value, we see that the value of the circular value is about 100,000 euros for making this building demountable, which compared to the investment is quite a lot. So here, for example, you see the break-even point. Oh, sorry, here you see the return on investment. So it will be about an 11% return on investment. If you look at the total construction budget, then the circular value is 28% of the total budget. And if you look at it, this value from a month-to-month perspective, monthly perspective over the course of this 25 years, it's a value of about 333 euros per month. And per square meter, it's 33 euros. Then here you find the net present value, which is higher than the circular value, since we expect inflation rate to be higher than the interest rate. Adjust this accordingly, but this is at the moment of speaking what we expect, and that's how it turned out to be higher. Then we have a break-even point for remountability investment. That means that if we put this value to 45%, it will be getting to around zero. The value that comes out, the circular value, as you can see. So in this way, you see how much you can actually invest in remountability to still make an interesting case. Yeah, and you have other metrics as well. So here you see the rate of return to 11% and the monthly circular value. So yeah, just use them accordingly. And here you find the different scenarios. And in this case, with the metrics we have, we see that even in a pessimistic scenario, we still get value out of these circular value out, and also circular net present value out. So it seems good, but it's really depending on your situation. But now you know how to fill it in. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you another time. Goodbye.